Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John Morabito, currently the CFO and Executive Vice President for Grand Touring Automobiles, which is a super luxury dealership in the Toronto, Waterloo, Maple, and Calgary area. For sure, Toronto in the last 10 years has become, um, I would say, a much greater city comparable to the cities like the New Yorks, and especially if you're driving around Toronto, definitely you can see the between the congestions and and how long it takes to go from one office to the other, which I'm talking about Toronto and Maple in my case, driving distance. So Toronto has evolved to be that big city that everybody thought it would come a long time, well, coming sooner than everybody thought it would come. Um, it's definitely a very multicultural city as it was always, but it seems like everybody's more intertwined with everybody's culture, which is a good thing. And for business, it means that we have to adjust. We have to adjust based on how to reach out to the different ethnic groups, different cultures, because although they're all Canadians, but everybody has their own method of conducting a sale or conducting a purchase. In our case, so interesting enough, our business is evolving just like Toronto's evolving. As more ethnic groups come aboard, we do find the necessity, the need to hire these particular individuals that can better serve those ethnic groups to ensure that they're looked after properly, and that makes our business grow. Knowing what their expectations are, knowing that what they're looking for and how we can serve them better, obviously is what is going to enable our company to grow. It was definitely a learning curve. A learning curve because myself and a lot of the management, I would say all of our management, did not know how to deal with it. So when in 2020 we were mandated to close, what actually happened, automotive was deemed an essential business just because we needed to service customers. Customers needed to move, whatever, who had to move. So we were deemed essential, but at the same time, our doors were closed. So what happened is that we had to sort of reassess how we conduct ourselves. How do we conduct our business? How do we continue to service the customers and not let them down, but with closed doors? Believe it or not, we managed to do it. We managed to do it because everybody adjusted to this COVID protocols, and we were able to understand and balance the business with the restrictions we had. Now, that also brings a lot of that brings what it did. It brought a lot of the true colors of the management as to who can manage and under different conditions. Because in good times, as anybody can actually do their roles successfully. Is in harder times is when you actually see who is the go-getter, who is the thinker, who is the executor, and execute in the sense of executing the plans and how to sort of balance that service and restriction. So COVID did bring us to that next level, believe it or not. It did bring us to the level of saying, okay, guys, how do we now manage our store? So we need so many people in the building. How does the traffic flow? Where does the traffic go when they come? Who does what? Who does? And it was it was incredible. It was incredible because we found a way through it. What was more incredible is that, as you know, a lot of people working from home. A lot of people are not leaving their homes, so they really didn't need a service. They don't need to service their vehicles as they would have to in normal times. But we needed the business, so we came up with different strategies. How do we reach out to these customers who are their vehicles are parked on their driveway or in their garages, and how do we reach out to them and say, listen, you need a service, you need an oil change, you need whatever, and they're saying no, no, no. So we came up with different ideas, different ways of going, reaching out to the customers, going to their homes, picking up their vehicles, bringing them back, knowing that one, they didn't require the service. Two, they're working from home. Therefore, they're not driving downtown to the downtown core, where they normally would drive downtown, drop off their vehicles. We would then service their vehicle. Customers at the end of the day pick up their cars and off they go on their way home. This was totally different. But again, we figured a way out, figured a different way of dealing with it. And it proved to be a very, very successful plan. And as we get out of COVID, though, we come up to a different type of a challenge. And you may have heard, there's a challenge with getting parts. So although we were getting the customers in, we now have a challenge of getting parts on time for customers, and cars will be sitting in our garages for weeks. And in top of that, we started shortages of vehicles in early 2021, where the supply of inventory was not really flowing through on a systematic basis as it was in the past. Therefore, it created some hurdles for customers who are needing to get into new vehicles, but we don't have the vehicles available. So COVID did give us gave us an insight and on how to deal with all these roadblocks. And again, it's the strategy of the management team how to conduct themselves and how to strategize this. It's almost a plan of attack where how do you counter all these issues, and it just made us better managers. And at the end of it all, I think that's what it's come down to. It's just we're all became more knowledgeable on how to conduct ourselves in different times. As you know, everybody's leaning towards having electric cars. I would say every manufacturer on earth these days would have some sort of a system of electrifying their cars. Furthermore, the system of selling cars is changing. So and that's probably what triggered. It was always coming. I think the answer is it was always coming. The digital platform on how automotives are going to conduct themselves in the future was a plan. What I think happened is COVID sort of speed up that plan, and because people were not buying or not able to attend dealerships in person, they learned how to buy online, how to digitally go in and look at what they want and buy the vehicles of their dreams. Believe it or not, that is something that really happened and really took off within COVID. I think people were more comfortable with the process of ordering parts online, ordering a vehicle online. And we would think we would never see that in our lifetime, or at least later, but I think it's already here. The digital platform for automotive is really, and like I said, one of our brands, which is Polestar. Polestar is an electric car, 100% electric vehicle. Well, you order that car online. You don't need to see a dealership, and there's no need to see a dealership. You go on your portal, you go Polestar Canada, whatever it is, the portal, and you order your car. You choose your color, you choose your financing, you choose everything that you need to about the car. And once the car is assigned to you, meaning you put a deposit and all that good stuff, always online, then you follow your car. You know exactly when your car is going to arrive. You know exactly when your car is going to be at the dealership ready for pickup. So where I'm going with this is that as the downtown core is becoming congested, I think one of the things that the digital is going to do for us, meaning automotive, is that I don't think you're not going to see those big dealers carrying 400 cars where you go in, knock on the door, or make an appointment, you go in and you buy a car on a Saturday morning. I think that platform is going to change, and that change is going to be very, very much so in a digital way where consumers will be knowledgeable enough to log in to the system or to a portal, to a website, whatever, and order their vehicle. So the need for these massive dealerships are going to be on a decline. And furthermore, I think also what's going to change is, given that the down core and there's always a need for condos more than business, you're going to see that transition of automotive retailers becoming more smaller and service centers throughout the city type of thing. it's just it's a transition of our automotive industry that, frankly, I thought it would come 20 years from now, but it's already here. Grand Touring is always it's always been competing in in the luxury brands, in the super luxury brands. So the brands that we represent are brands like Bugatti, Rimac, the Koenigseggs. So these we call it hyper brands. We also have the super luxury brands, which are now another category, but nonetheless, they're the Lamborghinis. We have the Rolls Royce, the Bentley, the Aston Martins, Jag, and Land Rover. So where I'm getting that is that we've always had to work with a certain type of clientele that mandates how they like to do business as opposed to how GTA does business or how the normal dealership does business. And what I'm getting to that is that we were always very mindful of our customers, whether it be they don't need to be coming to our dealership. We make an appointment to go to their homes, and we've been doing that for the last 15 years. And that's because the clientele was dictating that. So what does it do for Grand Touring versus a lot of the other automotive dealerships? Is the level of customer service is an experience, and we've always said that. And with amongst our managers is when you come into Grand Touring, it needs to be an experience. It needs to be an experience where the customer needs to feel that they're one in total privacy. Two, and if they're not comfortable coming to the store, there's nothing wrong with going to our store to their homes. We have two flatbed tow trucks, which all they do is actually do deliveries of vehicles to the customer's house. They do a full delivery to their house. We also do service pickups. So if the customers need service and whatever they need, they don't have time to come to our dealership, we send our cars to them. They get picked up, they brought down for service and brought back. And that is all part of the Grand Touring experience. And I think as other dealerships benchmark Grand Touring, they're all sort of upping their game in the sense that they have to offer all this customers and this customer service to their clientele, because customers are now more sophisticated, whether it be because they learn from online, they learn from other people. We hear it all the time. Well, we come to Grand Touring, we get this level of service. We go to another dealership, we don't get this level of service. But you can't compare, and it's not because of the brand. It's not because of the dealership. It's just because the level of brands that you have and we represent, it's almost a must. Well, the ICCO, like I said, our main scope was to reach out to the different types of communities and ethnic communities just to see, just to be part of them, and for them to know that we're part of them, and they needed to know that we're here. So what the ICCO did, which Cordado's done an amazing job, is he's done participating with ICCO and participating in their events. Has made that introduction of Grand Touring to that market, to that group, which some of them may not know who we were. Some of them were probably intimidated who we were. And I think what ICCO did to a large extent is bridge that gap, give us the opportunity to introduce us and talk to us. And we've gained business from them, and we've gained a lot of friends from them, from this association. Obviously, our business doesn't entail getting involved with Italy in a direct way. Indirectly, yes, we carry Lamborghini, so we do have that affiliation. But nonetheless, it's the local market, that the local territory that ICCO has helped us with that introduction and that friendship, and allowed GTA Grand Touring Automobiles. So when I say GTA, I am referring to Grand Touring Automobiles, allowing them to be known to the community, and to let them know that we are here and what we sell, and absolutely we welcome everybody and anybody. Well, the value that I have in my profession, obviously, I'm a CPA background, and accountants are always going to be accountants, and obviously it's a very it's a career that you can sort of enjoyed at any different type or a different types of industry. With in my capacity here in the automotive in general, because I've been automotive here at Grand Turn, I've been automotive corporate with Nissan Canada. So I've seen the different sort of the different ways of conducting and or utilizing our designations or our career. What it does though, what it did for me is the ability to be the accountant and to be the businessman, to make a strategy or decide on a strategy, is something that is not accessible in a lot of companies. And I think with my luck and being with Grand Turn, it gave me a taste of being the accountant, and which is always, the person that always has to count and balance the books, but also to be the business person, the businessman, to go out and grow this company. And Grand Turn, since I've been on board, has pretty much tripled his size, and that is something that I really value. Obviously, take a lot of pride, and it's not only me. There's a great management team here that sort of supports each other. A young family, a young team that sort of is making a lot of our dreams come true, in the sense that we've taken something that's relatively small and has become a large corporate company almost across Canada. The younger generation seems to be very, they know what they want, but they want to be there right now. And what sometimes, and I've gone through the learning channels. I mean, I graduated in a bit of a tough year, so things were a little different for us. But what I say to the young generation is, don't look at your career from a monetary standpoint. Don't look at your career to say, I want to become a lawyer because they make X. I want to become an accountant because they work at Grand Turn. No. My advice to them is, choose a career that you like. Choose a career that you can enjoy. If you enjoy that career, you're going to be successful at that career. You're going to last into that career, because really experience is what's key in a lot of the industry, regardless what industry you're in. Yes, education gets you to the door. The experience really makes you grow into the profession that you should be in and good at. So the younger generation, again, they seem to have their eye on the end ball. That doesn't mean what the end results. They're not willing to do the travel. And I'm saying, do the travel. Is going to prove very valuable, because one day when you do, without that travel, without that experience, if you do hit a hardship, or you hear that you have something in front of you that is challenging, that travel road, that experience will help you overcome that challenge, that obstacles. Be patient and be mindful of what you want to achieve. I want to be scattered. I would be very, very focused on what you want to achieve, and start at an early age. That probably is another thing I would ask them to do. Is just, if you know that you want to become whatever you want to become, start at the earliest you can, and stay focused. Stay focused. The results will come.